What is up? It's the Fit Gear Hunter, and today we're just going to do a simple review of the rigorous Memorial Day workout called Murph and see how different platforms analyze the rigor of the workout. So we're going to see how it flows on Garmin, on Polar, on Suunto, and on the Whoop band. So one of the things that I love about the Murph workout is just how taxing it is on your body and how much it completely devastates your day, and you sort of go through this sort of like survival, like you're in the field of battle, like trying to push yourself even though you're suffering and enduring it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. I should have the Airwave mouthpiece review out soon, as well as everyone is expecting the Garmin 255 and 955 to be announced Wednesday morning, so I'll do an initial review of some of the things we're seeing about that, and then a review initially once I get the devices in my hand, which I don't have any information or any connections to be able to do so. So everything in this, because it's just been a long day, or at least I'm just in full recovery and still needing to do work for work tomorrow, but everything is just off the cuff. We're just going to basically take the Murph workout. For those of you not familiar with the CrossFit workout Murph, it's basically all with a 20-pound vest on your chest. You do a 1 mile run, and then you split up 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats, however you want to partition them, and then a 1 mile run, all with that 20-pound vest on. And so I basically did it the same way. I sort of started with what's called a Cindy style, 5, 10, 15, and then I started to split up all of the work, like split up every little piece. So I was doing, 5 reps of push-ups, 5 air squats, 5 pull-ups, 5 air squats, 5 push-ups, 5 air squats as my sort of completion of the 30 reps per round for the 20 rounds. So that's what I did. It was really surprising. I was not sure I was going to be able to complete it because I pulled my hamstring a week ago, Saturday. So not a whole lot of recovery there, but I just went really slowly on the run, which you will see in the video. Everything was relatively slowly because I also have some sort of weird pinched nerve in my back from deadlifts on Friday. Whatever, but got it done. We're just going to look at basically the core way that all these platforms, Garmin, Suunto, Garmin, Suunto, Polar, and Whoop display and help you to see like how hard was the workout, what analytical information can we see from it. So with that, we're just going to dive into each of these apps. We're going to look at each of them sort of side by side, and then we're just going to talk about it in summary. All right, looking first at the Whoop app. So you basically just get simple pieces of information. I actually was charging and forgot to put the Whoop back on last night, so I don't have any recovery details. I just recorded this as one long activity. I actually started it for the warm-up and then kept it on for a little bit after the workout was actually done. So, if I touch on this, you don't get any data pieces of what level of heart rate you had. You just get one big chunk. Obviously, I spent 28 minutes at 90 to 100% of my max heart rate. So that's 25 minutes more. So that is a much higher than average rigor or difficulty. Look at that calorie number on the bottom left, 1,046 calories with an average heart rate of 150, and that included the warm-up. Duration, hour and 14. I think the Murph workout itself was like 65 minutes because it was just conscientiously slow just to get through it. So this is what you see. I mean, you can look, obviously at your day stats. You can see that big blue jumps way up because this daily strain was higher than average, but it wasn't crazy higher than what was on Wednesday the 25th. You can see this one though. This shows the day strain is off the charts. I don't know why this one looks so much different because the day strain is 14 and 17, but this is much higher. So this is a different, it looks like it's got a shorter scaling system, so a different scaling approach. So you can see 18.2 versus 13.9. And that's what you see on Whoop. That's the difficult thing. So I did. That's the difficult thing is you just get really simple numbers, in my opinion, just one sort of score, which flows into your scores over the rest of the periods. So next up is Suunto, and this is the sports tracker app. So I don't actually have a Suunto watch. It's crazy that Sports Tracker is fully capable. I just link a chest strap to the app and start my workouts there. You can see what you see. It's just really simple and bland information on the workout itself. It shows where I just basically did it locationally. You get your heart rate zones. There it is again. All the heart rate zones are set to the same max heart rate, so the zones are all following the same pattern within all the different watches that I'm wearing or different apps that I'm using. So in the middle here, you'll see that TSS score on the middle right. That's your stress score. So you can click on it and it'll tell you what it is. Training stress score. This is basically your load from the Training Peaks calculation approach. You get a recovery time that says 34 hours. I always say that that's about half of what the recovery time should be. You can see 1,200 kilocalories, so even more calorie estimate off of the Suunto app. But you take that 104 on the stress score, and then that loads into your overall long-term training load. You can see here, fatigue level went from like 48 to 56, which is, a pretty healthy jump, but it wasn't actually as significant. So it wasn't a gargantuan jump in the overall, what they call the fatigue evaluation, relative to other times when my fatigue's been at 60, because of the series of workouts that were hard in a row over the course of a week. So this one really hard workout actually didn't skew the numbers. So it's sort of interesting to see how Training Peaks within Suunto platform does the evaluation, because you can look in the middle of this graph, in the middle here, except for that covers it when I click on it, the red line, which is the fatigue line. When I was just doing more consistent, maybe definitely not as hard, but consistently lots more hard workouts on average per day than some of the tapering and some of the injury that causes a lower volume, it doesn't actually skew. This one huge workout didn't skew everything too high, although it did raise the fitness level. One thing I really like about Training Peaks or Suunto is that my fitness stays relatively stable even if I'm tapering off, whereas on other platforms you don't see quite the same thing. So then we go to Polar. So Polar, you basically go to the bottom little calendar guy. That's just where all your workout history is saved. And so there you have it, starting off the week with this evaluation. Now you can see on this Training Load Pro in the middle, 188 is a really high score for me. It's a full 5 bar. You can see like 5 out of 5 stars, 5 red circles. You can see the same sort of picture graph, the same 28 minutes and 42 seconds as you see on every other training program that you'll see here. I never have liked how Polar puts all their information in one red box. So you can't disseminate one from another, but about 1,000 calories, the evaluation there. But that training load score is really the important one, because then you come up here and you see this cardio load where it says productive. So when you push on that, it takes you into the cardio load evaluation, which is your overall training load over time. And so you can see a big red bar. So if you have a really hard workout on a day, that was a harder workout. Cardio load was a 91 there. Here, though, the cardio load was 188, so that was, twice as much as some of the other harder workouts that are, at the higher end of the spectrum. Plus, you can see the purple line is my 7-day average for average load per day, basically taking all the workouts over the last 7 days and dividing by 7, the load level for each of the workouts. And the blue bar is the 28-day. And so what's interesting about this is, so going into it, I was sort of tapering, sort of having some difficulty with injury. My tolerance, which is sort of like your fitness level, my 28-day average load was 70. And then with this one workout, it went to 74, and my strain, my average on the 7 days jumped up. And what's interesting about how Polar does this is how you can see it over a long period of time. And this will take it and turn it horizontal, so you can see each of the workouts individually in the red lines, and the blue line is your overall fitness level. It's really just your daily 28-day moving average for the volume you've had, and the purple is your 7-day moving average. So the purple has more movement to it, and those little red lines is your workout. What I love about a workout like Murph on a chart like this, so you can see all the workouts, all the little red lines. So this, like this day was 102 cardio load, so that was a higher little red line. You can see, I got a red line here, that was 112. Oh, I got a bigger red line here, which was, I think, one of the Murph prep days. So you can see the blue lines going up, and look at the red lines as we move sort of across. You see the average little red line, and then where's Murph? Where's Murph? Where's Murph? there it is. So it's like way up there. That's just cool to me. When you want to, I kind of like an app that just basically shows you like, oh, you really crushed it this day. So that's how the Polar platform looks when it comes to the load, how it shows you the load, and the individual workout itself. And then here's the Garmin. Now I did it as a multi-sport so that I could correctly count the miles or make sure I ran the full miles, and then did the middle section on a separate piece, tagging it to the CrossFit custom sport profile I created so that I could also count my rounds. And use a Garmin watch, you can use the lap counter as a round counter so you don't lose track. But it doesn't quite look as perfect, but you can see my time was 1:04. So that was my Murph time. So I did it all in 1:04, which is not a great time for me, but it's not a horrific time considering the torn hamstring. So when you go into a multi-sport within Garmin, it doesn't put all the heart rate on one screen. It does show you the summary of calories here, though, and the summary of total miles and the total time, all those types of things, but it doesn't put the big heart rate graph on one screen. So you go into each individual piece. It is like 3 separate workouts here where I just ran a mile. Obviously, that was a blazing fast pace because it was a 10-minute mile. You can see the heart rate automatically because it was hot out. It was brutal. I should have said that in the opening part of the video. It was like 85 degrees with 67% humidity and a 70-degree dew point. So it was terrible out there. It felt terrible. So these are my 20 rounds in the middle to accomplish all the pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats with the vest. 39 minutes, again, slow. I just didn't want to activate. You can see on my round 16, minute 22, that's off the pacing as I was doing it, so I must have miscounted something there. But either way, you can see your training effect building. So now with this second piece of the multi-sport, I'm now at 4.6 on the aerobic training scale and 1.2. And then you go into the last piece. This was my really slow run, 13:38 for a 1 mile run. It was hot, it was terrible. And you capped off your total training effect on the workout of 4.7. So that's where you see just the overall training effect, your aerobic impact on your physiological improvement and otherwise. Here you can see the load score itself. So in that top line, the May 30th, it is your total load score. So you can see it's came in at 280. And you don't see much. I did have a load of 179, so it was just higher than normal, and you can see how it didn't really shift in a huge way, the moving average for the 4-week time frame. My week at a glance, my load over the last 7 days. So it didn't shift it in a crazy way. So it didn't have as much of a profound impact. But what I will say about Garmin, because Garmin has a very advanced recovery time feature when you finish a workout. It takes multiple physiological factors like sleep and stress, coupled with the workout intensity, and it said I needed a 72-hour wait. I needed 3 full days of rest before the next really rigorous workout. So you can do lighter workouts, but amongst all of these, besides Suunto or the sports tracker app, Suunto will tell you a recovery time that's usually half, and you take 34 is what it was, and take that times 2, that's 60. It's actually close to what Garmin's saying. Garmin's one of the most advanced. So Polar doesn't have recovery time, and Whoop doesn't as much have recovery time. It just says here's how recovered you are when you wake up based on your heart rate variability over the night. So it'll probably, my body will say I need more recovery time, but it doesn't tell you need more recovery time versus Garmin, which really does tell you need recovery time. So you can see the body battery at that workout sort of plummeted my overall internal reserves, and I was able to have a lazy day the rest of the time. So those are the 4 platforms I wanted to look at. Let's talk about it. So that is it. That is the Murph review, looking at multiple of platforms, how they display the workout. Obviously on the Garmin platform, I did it as a multi-sport, so I changed sports in the middle. So I was able to just have it sort of exactly track both the distance of the run and then see all the split times in the middle, and then the final time as well. You obviously get different analytical piece of information from Garmin versus the other two, so you can see your aerobic and anaerobic training effect, how it helped you physiologically. You obviously have a load. As you can see within Polar, you can see just the single load score and how it pulled up the averages and how it looks on the graph. You can see within the Suunto app, within Sports Tracker, which is Suunto, same sort of experience and feel. You can see how it sort of started to tweak the overall long-term load scores. And then within Whoop, you can just see just the one flat strain evaluation. So I hope you liked that video. I just like to do it at the end of the day. I definitely off the cuff with this. So give it a thumbs up if you can, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. It's the Fit Gear Hunter.